Good morning, wrestling fans. Welcome to PWR Today for Tuesday morning, September 15th, 2020. I'm the man they call Meathead. And, Dave Hero off today. He will not be in. So what I did is I worked out a special guest, not really uncommon to our listeners here at PWR Today, but she's the lovely. She's the luscious. She's the not lascivious. She's definitely litigious, but she is the Linda K. Good morning, Linda.
Good morning, Meathead. How are you? It's nice speaking to you again. 2 days in a row.
Right. And those were all made up L's. I mean, literally, I was like, let's see, litigious, lascivious. I could have said long-legged, but I didn't want to tell lies.
Oh, yeah, that's true. But you can go with lucky.
Ooh, maybe. The lucky. Lucky to speak to the man they call Meathead, because the best part of waking up is the Meathead and Linda in your cup. All right, Linda. So you got big shoes to fill. I mean, well, we love you, Dave. She's got two big shoes to fill, but let's be honest. You're not even filling your shoes either after, you had that totally awesome surgery a couple years ago. So are there crickets anywhere? Anybody like that joke? No?
No. I got it. I just said to myself, I'll try to fill Dave's shoes.
Well, shoes or boots or whatever he's wearing. But no, Dave's got off today, so we're going to talk to Linda. Linda, how was Raw last night? What did you think? I mean, before we get into details, did you like it? Did you not like it?
Yeah, no, I enjoyed it. I mean, it was extra packed, hence it being the in-your-face
was it
edition
in your
of Raw.
face Raw?
Yeah, it really was. There were a lot of good moments. I thought, some surprises, which always helps the show move along. I know I kind of poo-poo on the whole Mysterio Rollins thing, wanting it to end, but honestly, that was the highlight of my night watching it. So, I mean, not still the outcome, but the match itself. And then just, from beginning to end, a lot of different surprises. So I'd say that was a good Raw, passing Raw in my eyes.
Okay. Well, I mean, before we get into it, speaking of in your face, let's talk about manscape.com. When you're not grooming yourself, sometimes what you got there, boys, can be in her face. And that's a little bit too much. All right. So let's get over there. Let's get to manscape.com, manscaped.com, and go get yourself that lawnmower 3.0 with the extra battery, too. I guess they've got the premium battery now that lasts up to 90 minutes as well, so you can take that longer shave in the shower. And it's waterproof, of course. If you head on over to manscaped.com and use the promo code PWR, you can get yourself 20% off and free shipping. Your balls will thank you. And your lady will thank you as well because you're not in her face.
I was about to say, feeling the smoothness right after a manscaped job. Tremendous.
I like what you said there. That's why we have Linda K here, boys and girls, is because she can come with the funny. All right, let's talk Raw. I'm a little extra squirrely this morning. I don't know what it is. I'm a little extra squirrely. So, Linda, you played fantasy football over the weekend. Did you do okay? How'd your teams do?
I did not. No, not this year.
Oh!
To be honest with you, yeah. I'm sticking all of my hard thought and strategy solely into the PWR fantasy draft this year.
And we've got a little bit of fantasy, PWR fantasy we can throw in there as well. Speaking of Linda Longtime. So let's talk about Raw. And it starts off with Drew McIntyre in his street clothes. Posing in the ring, raising a title in the air as his pyro goes off. Now, I've been meaning to bring this up since the Thunderdome started. I like the mix of pyro and fake pyro that they have. Have you noticed that?
Everything is quite thunderous with the music piped in and whatnot. So honestly, I mean, I guess I didn't even look too hard because as a presentation as a whole, I mean, it does it for me. It's definitely, getting me more engaged and feeling a bit more.
Here's what I've noticed. And it's something I've noticed for a while, but I really didn't bring it up. But some of the pyro is real and some is fake, and that's okay. So they've got the little pyro machines behind the screens. Some of it is LED that makes it look like pyro because it's the same pyro for everybody. Some of it is real. You got to look for the smoke. I mean, not that, it's Street Profit smoke, the stuff that they want, but you got to look for the smoke. So some of the fireballs are real. Some of the little sparklers are fake. So it's kind of cool that they give everybody like a pyro type deal, but they're not wasting as much money on pyro because they can use the Thunderdome. So I thought it was kind of cool. Here's what we really have here. We have the unofficial voice of the WWE office now, the unofficial commissioner, the unofficial Raw general manager, Scrap Daddy AP, tells Drew McIntyre that, tell you what, with all that damage you caused to Randy Orton, Keith Lee tonight, if he defeats you and Randy Orton can't go a Clash of Champions, you get to face you get to face Keith Lee instead. Now, it was a weird stipulation because if Keith Lee wins, what does he get if Randy Orton can make the pay-per-view? If Keith Lee loses, but Randy Orton can't make the pay-per-view, who's the opponent? It's a weird stipulation. What was your thoughts?
Yeah, it was a bit odd, and I was like, okay,
and don't forget the ambulance.
Yes. Oh yeah, the ambulance match. Oh yeah, of course. That ambulance budget is tremendous. With WWE as of recent.
If it doesn't say Bell on the side, you're going to get taken for a ride. So you got to be careful.
But we do see Bell ambulance every time they need a stretcher, which is great. Local plug there. So I thought it was a little bit odd, and then I just kind of saw it where I thought maybe it would make Keith Lee heel just off the bat because Drew McIntyre is, your face champion. Right. But they both, or the way he attacked Randy Orton last week, that it was a bit heelish, even though he was getting his revenge. But it was just a bit confusing. Then, and then, like you said, it's like, okay, this would be in Keith Lee's favor if he does win, and if Randy Orton can't compete. But then, like you said, like what if he wins and or Randy can compete? Then it's like okay, or if he loses, then if Randy can't fight, then
stipulation.
I thought it was odd. Yeah, we always saw how it, played out throughout the episode, but it was a little bit odd. But I was like, okay, they're putting this divide between these friends. I mean, obviously there's been a lot of
they're not the best friends.
Yeah, or the other best friends in WWE too. Like I'm talking about Sasha and Bayley, but there just doesn't seem to have been a lot of splits lately. So I thought maybe this would just be another one.
Who knows? Well, hey, we had that first. What was it called? Dual Brand Invitational was the exact word of the thing they made up from 2 weeks ago. So that means here comes Shinsuke Nakamura and Cesaro to challenge the Raw Tag Team Champions, the Street Profits, in their big solo cups and their little mini solo cups. Good, solid match again. And going over one more time is the Raw Tag Team Champions, the Street Profits. They found the smoke.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I mean, if this is just a quarterly thing, I just feel that if you're going to bring both tag champions, that there should be something more to it. But it was basically one match here, one match there, and is that it? And then
that's
nothing
it.
Else? Well, I guess it's nice to see.
Well, Raw was in your face tonight. Didn't you notice that?
Yes, that is true. That is true.
We didn't mention that Dolph Ziggler was on commentary. They say that Samoa Joe and Todd Phillips were on vacation, so they brought in Dolph to call about the first hour or so of matches. Your thoughts on Dolph's commentary?
I thought he did all right. I mean, I don't recall him doing commentary any other time.
But he can talk. I really think he can talk.
Yeah. Well, the thing for me was, when you're at the commentary table, you're supposed to be unbiased, and you know what I mean. So it's like, here comes Drew McIntyre, who he had a somewhat recent match with, but he said the things he needed to. It's okay to express your opinions if you're not agreeing with what's going on. But I did like how him and then later MVP did say, like, I mean, I like the guy, but I respect him. So that was cool. And then when Dolph was gone from commentary, I didn't put two and two together that he was probably going to Raw Underground, which we saw him in. But yeah, but no, MVP behind the table is great too. He's good at everything. So
yeah, there you go. All right, so backstage, and this is where you get involved here. We have Lana backstage with Angel Garza. Can't believe that Mickie James is already getting a title shot when it should be Natalya. A little bit back and forth. Zelina asks Lana to buzz off. Then it's an interaction between Andrade, Garza, and Zelina. Zelina says she's done with the two of them, and then the two boys brawl. I'm like, I think I smell it coming. Yep, I'm willing to bet because we talked about this yesterday morning. With Mandy Rose being traded from SmackDown to Raw, who was going to be Asuka's challenger? Because unfortunately, Mickie James was not going to win, and she did not win last night.
Mm-hmm.
Who could it be? I thought it might be Mandy. Oh, it is it gonna be? And then we're foreshadowing here a bit, but when we get to the women's match, we're going to find out why that means something. Now let's talk Cedric Alexander versus Ricochet. This is week 1 of Cedric Alexander in the Hurt Business. He's still smiling too much. Yeah, he's still smiling way too much.
I mean, the rest of the guys are exceptionally thrilled to have him be a part of the Hurt Business. So how can he not smile?
Yes.
They're always smiling.
Shelton called him out and says, if there's anything funny going on, I'm going to find out first.
That
he might call his mama, basically.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah. Sorry, I just had a flashback to, the mamas at WrestleMania. It was, the different mamas, but it was...
Mamas? Yes. Oh.
Yeah,
sorry. Are you talking about Clay's mamas? Somebody call my mama.
Yeah, but it made me think of Shelton's mama.
Guess what I'm going to watch after we get off the air this morning? I'm going to watch Brodus Clay's entrance at WrestleMania with the 47 mamas on stage.
Yes.
Oh.
Sorry.
Who's quick trivia? Whose ring song was that before it was Brodus Clay's?
Ooh,
I'll tell you what. Somebody tell me I'm the greatest. Former WCW commissioner. Was in the movie The Wrestler. Played the butcher Abdullah or whatever, the Sheik or whatever his name was in the Ernest the Cat Miller.
Oh, Cat. That was it. That was his song?
That was it. His song was Somebody Call My Mama. Oh. Because in WCW it's like, somebody call my mama and tell her I'm the greatest.
Oh.
And he had Catbo. 1-900-CATBO.
Sorry.
We're going to have a talk. We're going to have a post-show talk here. It's going to be a little production meeting after we're off the air. We're going to have to get you up to speed on WCW history if you plan on staying here on PWR today.
Okay.
All right. There is the WWE Network. Got to get you caught up. You need to get learned. All right. So after the match, Hurt Business standing in the ring with Cedric celebrating, minus Lashley. The lights go black. The fans go black. Retribution logo appearing on the screens. We get a promo. The big man, rumored to be Dominik Dijakovic, starts speaking with a altered voice. It's the right size. It looks like Dominik Dijakovic. The female up in the front sure looks like Mia Yim to me. They have not been outed yet, but Retribution got something for the Hurt Business. Your thoughts on where Retribution might be at this point with all the stuff that we've had so far?
Well, first off, the rumors of who they are right now, that'd be insane because obviously those are close people to Keith Lee and they did interrupt that match. But wow, that just actually puts a new perspective to me thinking of who they are. Okay. Obviously, they're getting.
What do they want Retribution for? What are they angry about?
They're not on the main card quite yet. I don't know.
Mia Yim got to worry about. She's been in prominent matches.
I know, but within WWE at least. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Obviously, them getting more presence and more camera time, more mic time. I feel like we're getting close to finding out exactly who they are, which, I know like a lot of us, at least within the show, aren't too big of fans of the whole Retribution thing, but at least it's nice seeing it moving along. And I do like this version of them better than them just coming in and destroying everything and wreaking havoc. Like, I didn't like that. I didn't like them beating everybody up and scaring everybody in the back and destroying the ring and the property. And, you got their commentators running to the back. Like, I like this much better, where they're making their presence known very strongly, than them showing they do have control still, that they can still get into the building and take, command of a lot of different things. But the way that, just the way it was, like, I like it much better now, how it's with the lights going off, them appearing, and then
they flash in the exact same way now too.
Yes. It just seems like it has more meaning and more purpose, I guess. Okay. But it's moving along, which actually it's getting more interesting, especially now with who, are rumored to be in it. It's got me a bit more engaged, surprisingly.
All right. Let's talk Raw Women's Title match. Mickie James and Asuka. And again, great match. Mickie James doesn't win. The finish was what the hell? Because the referee says that Mickie James was unable to continue. Maybe she was, but she had Asuka's shoulders down. I mean, I'm like, is that a pin? What? Ugh.
The only thing I could think of is when Mickie flipped and her hand hit the mat like hard, and I don't know if the ref took that as a tap, because even Michael Cole, did she tap? She tap?
But it wasn't a pinfall. There wasn't a 1, 2, 3 on the mat. That's for sure.
Yeah, he called it as if, like if it was a UFC fight, like they can no longer continue. And I was like, what?
Yeah.
So yeah, that was a bit kabuki-ish, but I mean, I enjoyed the match itself. I thought they're very great head to head. I mean, pretty even as far as size and just, different moves that they can do. Like it was a really good match. I thought this, I was so surprised at how quickly it was put together, but this could have been something that was on a pay-per-view to me, because they're just both so talented, except the finish. But then
right after that match though, your girl came out and she's got words. I mean, she looked like AJ Lee. I mean, if you were to ask me. Oh wait, that's not AJ Lee. That's from Fighting with the Family AJ Lee. Never mind. But Zelina Vega comes out, and that looks like it's going to be Asuka's challenger at Night of Champions. Clash of Champions, excuse me. So you might get some appearance points. You got a chance to win a match there, too.
Yeah.
You were just saying that your girl only showed up on TV and didn't really do anything else. She might be in a title match.
I know. That's crazy. I did not expect that. Like, I knew that she had a strong presence and, like you just said, appearance points. But, and we've seen her in the ring a couple times, and, she's got a lot of good things going on, a lot of flips, a lot of high flying, and she hasn't had much chance to really show off much of her in-ring solo talents lately. Yeah. But here we go. I mean, that's crazy, number one, about how she walked away from, Andrade and Angel, but I mean,
she had enough
to deal with.
Kayate.
Yes. But yeah, this is great for Team Long Time, and I want to see Zelina in the match. I want to see her in the ring, because she hasn't had much as of late to really wrestle. In the few matches she did, she didn't win, or kind of squash. But
yeah. Oh, okay. Well, there you go. Yeah, I got a question for you, and I want to know your opinion on this. Charlie Caruso, I think right now is the lead interviewer backstage. Would you agree or disagree?
Charlie, yeah, she is.
Do you care that she gives an opinion about stuff?
That was a little different, but I feel that she did, because it involved Zelina and Angel, and how they had her part of their whole shenanigans the last couple months. So that was interesting, but I mean,
me personally, this is nothing against Charlie Caruso at all. But this goes across all sports for me, and I'll include WWE in this. I don't want to hear the opinion of somebody who's an analyst that has never worked. I don't want to hear that. Like, if you're calling a baseball game, like, for example, I didn't want to ever hear Dennis Miller or Tony Kornheiser, those guys talk, because they never played.
So you're liking how players are now becoming broadcasters.
Right. I'm okay with players being a broadcaster. They can be the color commentator. It's great. Even Pat Summerall, the great Pat Summerall, was a player as well, and he became a play-by-play guy. But the color commentator, to me, has to have played the game to be able to talk. And, like in baseball, for example, it didn't matter to me that ESPN had women doing it, because they were all players. That didn't bother me at all. They played the game. Who cares? Right. But when you get someone that just holds a microphone in interviews, maybe she wrestled, like a Corey Graves did down in NXT for a cup of coffee. I've never wrestled. Okay. So maybe I shouldn't be a color commentator either, because I have called Great Lakes Championship wrestling matches. However, this isn't the big time. So just opinion. That's all.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I think maybe just to kind of wrap up the whole situation of her involvement with Angel Garza and that whole storyline, that would be my assumption. But yeah, that's all weird, because we didn't see Demi, the Bachelorette
girl
here. Yeah. So who knows?
Bobby Lashley took on Eric of the Viking Raiders because his partner, Ivar, is going to have neck surgery. And this isn't the easy, safe neck surgery. Not that any surgery is, but Ivar is going down to Birmingham, Alabama. And if anybody knows anything about surgeries, be it wrestling, be it sports, if you're heading to Birmingham, what are you going for? You're going for the big one. I mean, that's where your Dean Malenko's, your Kurt Angle's, everybody, they go for the serious neck and spine. That's usually Dr. James Andrews. That's the guy that's worked on Triple H. That you're going for the big one. So hopefully that he ain't going to be out too long, and there's a full recovery for him. Yeah. But Bobby Lashley, pretty much, I wouldn't say it was a squash. I thought Eric looked good in here, but Bobby Lashley with the easy victory.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, the Hurt Business is booming, so they got to keep riding it high.
Now, KO was backstage, and, he's asked by Sarah Schreiber why he thinks Alistair Black developed a personal vendetta against him. We're getting pretty pissed off Kevin Owens lately, and that's the best Kevin Owens. Be it a face, be it a heel, but one that's pissed off and just going after people and trying to hurt people. So we're setting up a match last night between Owens and Alistair Black, which happened the week before in the Raw Underground. And, if you listen to Dave Hero and myself last Tuesday morning, why did they put that on Underground? It's a match people would pay to see. Well, they put the match back on, but it was on Raw. In your face.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I mean, Kevin Owens came out with the win, but, I mean, did that really answer any of the questions?
No, not really. No.
So there's going to be more?
He's going to wear the eye patch, too, but he takes it off right before the match. I don't know if you've also noticed, too, that Alistair Black has one black eye and then one regular eye. Like he's got I don't know if that's his damaged eye, but one of his eyeballs are actually like jet black. So I'm not quite sure. We know that Raw are technically live now in the Thunderdome. I got a question for you. This is me just poking holes into Swiss cheese. If they're going to assemble the cage, and we've been to local wrestling, right, Linda? We've seen cages put up. It's got to be put up beforehand. All right, cool, I gotcha. And they're going to do some vignettes because it takes 15, 20 minutes to get the thing put up. Why, if they assembled the cage on top of the ring, why was it connected to the top of the Thunderdome? That was connected like it was going to be raised and lowered.
Right. And they were playing the Hell in a Cell spot like that. It's typically just when it's the Hell in a Cell cage. Am I wrong?
It was on.
Yeah.
Hey, Shane McMahon was backstage with his, I don't even know if he has a name yet, but the extra large Raw Underground security. Nothing's going to be compared to this weekend. Out of nowhere from SmackDown, because it's a dual brand quarterly invitational buy committee something. Braun Strowman's going to go into the Raw Underground, and he wants somebody to come find these hands. Okay, cool. I want to see Braun Strowman go against the security guy.
Right.
Well, Strowman goes into Raw Underground, and we come back, and it's time for the cage match. It's Dominic Mysterio and Seth Rollins. Little vignette beforehand with Rollins and Murphy. Hey, I want you to do your job for me, okay? Stay back here. And he smacks him around a few times. Well, Murphy showed up right away at the beginning of the match and threw a kendo stick into the ring. Again, why is the whole Mysterio family there? I mean, are they there? Let's talk fan side and let's talk business side. I know they're there to help draw the emotion out of Dominic for this match, right? Because they're going to watch the kid get beat up and you're going to see the emotion on their face. That part I understand. But for the fan side, why are they there?
I mean, it's a huge issue with Seth Rollins and Murphy that they want to give their support. I mean, or
with a mom and sister for the last month?
Well, I mean, given the cage matches can have weapons in there, maybe they were there to possibly provide more kendo sticks. I don't know.
How much did they do in this match? I'm just wondering.
They didn't.
Right. Like I said, to get the business part of it, where they're there to hopefully draw the emotion.
Full circle for me.
Right. So, long and short of it, Rollins with the win, but due to no help from Murphy, as Murphy slams the cage into Rollins' face as he was trying to get out on accident, Rollins beat up Murphy even more. What are we going to get with Murphy after this thing is over?
I was thinking that Murphy was going to ruin it for Seth tonight. I mean, based off him getting slapped and just, pushed around right before the match. I mean, obviously there's this ticking time bomb in him. You got to believe that.
Yeah.
So,
yeah. Also, to move on from that, have you ever watched a WWE superstar trash talk a snack?
Not till now. I don't think so. I mean, we've seen, Slim Jims getting snapped, but
yes, snap into it.
Yeah.
R-Truth talking trash to a Kit Kat bar. Give me a break, break me off a piece of that Chrysler car.
Oh.
It was good stuff. That's an Office reference for anybody that was paying attention there. I'm gonna put you in my mouth. Here it comes. Watch out now. R-Truth is fantastic. Again, I think first ballot Hall of Famer.
Mm-hmm.
I absolutely loved the segment with him and Liv. Now, there was a match tonight that was Owens and Alistair Black. Like I said, we talked about the steel cage. We talk about Owens and Alistair Black. And Owens gets the win, but I didn't get as much as I thought I was getting out of this. I mean, I thought they had a great match, but where does it go?
Maybe the other eye has to go.
So his one eye's got to have to be extinguished?
Maybe.
Because nobody's touching my one eye. Thanks to Manscape.com. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean,
penal jokes.
I feel like Alistair Black will still attack Owens.
Black has so much potential, and it's just not being showcased right now. But it will at some point, hopefully. Ride Squad and taking on Lana and Natalya. Easy win for the Ride Squad with the women's tag team champions sitting ringside, Shayna Baszler and Nia Jax. And Lana goes through the commentary table.
Yeah.
Is this the end of Lana in WWE?
You think so? I don't know. I was surprised she
put a pin in that.
But
put a pin in that.
I don't know. The whole thing with her and Natalya, I don't. I'm not feeling it. The whole boat thing.
Have you ever found the little man in the boat? No, I'm just kidding.
I don't know. I guess I didn't think about that. Do you feel that this?
I don't know. I want you to put a pin in it.
That one. But they're just putting this whole Natalya and Lana thing together. That's still pretty new. I feel like they'd want to run with that for a little bit.
Maybe, but she just got put through the commentary table, and it's Lana.
Yeah.
But then again, WWE might have her next week talking about her best friend. So.
Yeah, or maybe she might be in a wheelchair with a brace on.
Maybe. Let's talk main event. Drew McIntyre and Keith Lee. These guys have been brawling all night, and Keith Lee had some great words right before. I told you we weren't done. I was absolutely entertained by that. I mean, the actual phrasing of that. I told you we weren't done. That was fantastic. By the way, also, Scrap Daddy AP, Adam Pearce, the WWE official. We call him Scrap Daddy because, we're tight, right? You and I and Scrap Daddy, we're tight. Yeah. But Adam Pearce technically asked the Hurt Business, who offered their services to help protect against Retribution, hey, thanks for helping out. And it was something like, thank you, and he held his hand out, and no, this ain't charity. I'll send you a bill.
Thank you for volunteering your services.
Yeah, there you go. I thought it was fantastic.
So we'll send you the bill. But yeah, shades of the APA. Like, that's great to have, that extra protection, which is funny because every week the security could not contain Retribution getting in. Right. I'm like, come on.
All right, so back to Drew McIntyre and Keith Lee. Good back and forth match, but this match ends with Retribution. Mm-hmm. And it ends with the Hurt Business coming out and getting in there and starting to brawl. And then finally, like I told you beforehand, spot of the night, Keith Lee and Drew McIntyre look at each other, bounce off that back rope, and both do a flip over the top rope. This was not talent sitting there waiting, not to knock AEW, but it's a shot at AEW. This was not talent sitting there waiting for the flip. This looked good, and it looked fast, and it looked real. And that's how we go off the air with those two bowling pins knocking down all the pins, or two bowling balls knocking down all the pins.
Yeah, even Lashley took a good hit off that.
Yeah.
But yeah,
So
that did look good because it did look like they weren't standing there waiting for it. And then you're like, okay, so Keith Lee and Drew McIntyre, now like great friends, now bitter enemies, and now they not
respect each
friends
other
again. But yes, but that was great to see.
Good. So we got a button on Raw, and that was Raw. Tonight, there's no wrestling action. We had been used to having some Tuesday night wrestling action for a while. We will have action tomorrow night with AEW and NXT for the first time in about a month, going head-to-head again on Wednesday nights.
Yeah, that's going to be a long night watching all that again, but that is nice to have them, have a somewhat normal schedule back. But
Watch wrestling long time.
Yes. Was it
long time
that AEW was Wednesday this week? Because as of last week, wasn't it still Wednesday or Thursday?
It sounds like they're going Wednesday night full. Remember, the playoffs are trimming out, so this was the week that they were going to do 1 hour and then like a live Thursday 2 hour, but this week they say they're going to be on Wednesday. So
okay.
Great. And speaking of Wednesday, last week Wednesday, Jericho has a new nickname. He's the $1 Million Man because AEW set their all-time high for viewership with over 1 million views on AEW Dynamite on Wednesday, uncontested. AEW's hot, folks. Keep an eye on this product. If you have not watched yet, get in on it.
Mm-hmm.
But like I was saying, speaking of long time, you and I have gone so long time. We talk of wrestling a long time. We just kept talking and talking and talking and did not stop. That is not a crisp 20.
It was an in-your-face Raw, though. What do you expect?
That's right. We were in your face. Linda got up in your face. And speaking of up in your face, don't forget Manscape.com. Also, collarandelbowbrand.com. Get on over there. Put in PWR 360 for 10% off as well. Thank you to our sponsors. And thank you to Linda Kay for jumping in with Dave having a day off. So for Linda Kay, I'm the man they call Meathead. Thanks for stopping by. So long, everyone.